Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to another live episode of The Grid. It's been 6 long years, but still, we go on. And today is a very special day. It is our Wear Your Union Flag Day. It's Put Your Union Jack guitar on the set behind you day, because, ladies and gentlemen, British superstar Mr. Dave Clayton is our guest today.
Hello.
At home. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I'm back third time.
This is your third time on The Grid.
Yeah, my hat trick.
You know, my favorite one, I wish we'd thought to have it queued up. My favorite one is when we had you on and we all sang, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?"
Yeah, and I don't sing.
And you slunk behind the desk. It was a magical moment. But we're glad to have you here, Dave.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And you even brought some goodies to give away and stuff.
I did. I've got some goodies to give away later.
Yeah, we'll talk about those in a moment, but we are very glad to have you here. We have a fun show today. So what we're going to do is, while you're watching live, Dave is a designer, quite a famous designer, I might add, and a Kelby One instructor, and just generally probably the best guy, certainly in the UK, maybe the world.
Some money.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Anyway, hey, is it just me or is the set like off? Like I'm seeing the set over there. Like, is the whole thing crooked? Let's see what Juan thinks. Because it seems like, watch it move. There, oh, a little more. It's still a little off.
It's like Star Trek.
Ah, right there. All right. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
We should do that. Can you move it back? And we'll do it like we're like, okay, there we go. Ready? Go. All right, we're back. This is why we don't act right there. Anyway, Dave's here doing some classes. You already wrapped up some classes, Photoshop classes?
Yep, 2, Monday and Tuesday.
You're quite good at Photoshop.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I get by.
Anyway, so what we're doing today on the show is we want to look at people's websites. We want to look at your photographer. We want to look at your logo, because Dave is really big into logo design. So we're critiquing logos and we're critiquing websites. Just pop it here in the comments. Just give us your website. We'll swing over there, take a quick look, give you a quick look at the layout of your website, a quick critique on the layout and on the logo. And you can either pop it there or you can pop it to us on Twitter. Just go over to my page, scottkelby.com, and drop it in there.
We'll be gentle.
We'll be gentle.
Kind of,
yeah.
maybe.
Kind of. And, Glenn Dewis is here.
Yep.
Glenn in the house. Glenn in the house. Dave Williams. Oh, the UK showing up big.
Oh, Ben's
Ben's
Bridget.
here. Ben and Bridget
Do you
are
know what?
here.
I met Ben and Bridget for the first time at the photography show. They are just the
Right?
nicest couple you could ever want to meet.
I could tell that
And
just
Ben's
from,
a great
from knowing him
designer
here.
as well.
So you go. Hey, look, here's what they said. Hey, we know, they're referring to Dave here. We know that guy. We met that guy. We love that guy. Hi, Dave and Scott. Looking forward to all the shenanigans you'll be getting up to. Oh, no. Deb says,
Deb.
hey, Scott and Dave.
Yep, I know Deb.
Love your podcast shirt, Dave, from warm, windy California. Anyway.
Back to front on screen.
Glad to have you here. Just a couple quick things before we zoom into stuff. Hey, I got a great guest blogger today. Since this is UK Day, Brian Worley is my guest blogger. He's got a really good blog post. I got to check it out first thing this morning. And this is one of those ones that every photographer should read. He's got some great insights and some great points, and he goes into all kinds of fun stuff that needs to be talked about but isn't talked about all the time. So go check it out over on my blog today. It's at scottkelby.com. So thanks to Brian. Very excited to have him as our guest blogger today.
He's a good guy as well.
He's
I know
a very
Brian.
good guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Very good
very
guy.
talented.
And very talented. I follow him on all social media.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good.
He's a big Canon guy as well.
Yeah, he is a big Canon guy. All right. Hey, so I was in New York City yesterday. You haven't heard the story. I went to New York yesterday, and I'm working on a class called it's a travel photography class for Kelby One called The Photographer's Guide to New York. I've done it for London. I've done it for Venice. I've done it for Paris. I've done it for Rome, and now New York City. Because a lot of people go to New York. It's a very crowded place. Anyway, so I was there, and you know what I did? I'm coming up a flight of stairs to go up onto the Brooklyn Bridge. I get to the very top of the stairs, and I dropped my camera. Dropped my 5D Mark IV. It hit the concrete. It broke the little glass LED, and it shattered the top up. It still worked. It still worked. Now, I was in the town of B&H, so I wasn't going to be without a camera.
Yeah.
I could go rent one or whatever. But yeah, it shattered my LCDs. Like, it's very sad. But
You insured? for stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? My deductible is more than the repair will probably be.
Yeah.
So you know how it is. Anyway, Peter Treadway, also from the UK, wants to know,
Never heard of him.
who is that guy with a dodgy accent?
It's Scott Kelby.
That would be me, Scott Kelby. Thank you. Hey, we got some great giveaways today on the show. Platypod Ultra, giving one of these away. Can I tell you something? Not kidding. I went to 21 locations in New York City. Not 21, about 16. I used this everywhere. No one ever stopped me. I don't care what I was shooting in St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is like the sworn enemy of tripods. No one ever said a word or stopped me anywhere. You know when I got stopped? When I used an actual tripod?
Wow.
I used an actual tripod. There was a security guard on me in about a minute. Use this? Never a problem. This is like the anti-tripod tripod. We're giving one away. I took the Ultra. This is the one I had with me.
Yeah.
We're giving away its big brother. Platypod Max. Oh, yeah. We're giving away its big brother today.
Can I do this one?
And then, here we go, Dave.
One of the best designed books on the market today. There's some stuff inside that's good, but one of the best designed covers.
The cover
of any
is
book.
stunning. Really.
Judge a book by its cover, definitely. But no, it's a brilliant book. It's Glenn's book, Photographed Like a Thief. Good stuff in there.
Lovely. We're also giving away a copy of the Lightroom Classic book. Yes, it is beautiful. Yes. This is my brand new book for Lightroom Classic. It's on press right now. It will be out very, very soon. It has all the new stuff, all the new profiles, all the new goodness, everything new. It's new, new, new. The biggest rewrite of this book I've done in 11 years, and it is on press right now. And don't you have some special goodies that we'll be giving away?
Special goodies. I've got, so
take a
for those
look.
of you who don't know what I actually do for a day job, I work for a company called Astute Graphics, and we do
Astute
stuff.
Graphics?
Astute Graphics.
Are they in the UK?
In the UK, in Hereford, and we make plugins for Adobe Illustrator users. So if you use Illustrator, you need to look us up. So we've got one of these T-shirts. We've only got 4 made, and it's like ACDC, AGAI.
Oh, very clever.
The back. So we've got one of them. XL, so if you're Slim Jim, fatten up.
Yes, I always say if someone gives you clothes that are too big, fatten up.
Yeah. And
this is why he's the UK's biggest diet guru, Dave Clayton.
health fitness freak. And Glenn and I do a podcast, and we got our first merchandise this week.
Oh, your merch.
We got some little notebooks.
All right, tell us about your podcast real quick.
Okay, so the podcast is 11 episodes in. It's called He Shoots, He Draws. Glenn, he shoots, I draw.
I get
and
that.
it's mostly photography and design, and we've just got Westcott as a sponsor as well. So
And it's funny.
Every Friday, it's funny.
It is
it's
very
us,
funny.
It's us just chatting, and we want to make you feel like you're in the room with us, except you're not, because we're special. So we've got some little notebooks that it's he shoots, photography notes, he draws, design notes. Saves us making 2 books.
Lovely.
And then I've got some stickers for Glenn's new book. If you go on Amazon.com and look up Photoshop Toolbox, some stickers off there, and a couple of stickers for the book and a badge and, stuff.
It's a whole bundle.
Stuff.
It's a bundle of stuff.
Priceless stuff.
Priceless stuff that you can only get here. Where can they go find your podcast? How can they find it?
So if they go to @He Shoots, He Draws, or if they go on Glenn's website, there's a link there. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's all He Shoots, He Draws. And then we're on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play.
Beautiful. Heart out to everyone. There it is right there.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So yeah, I'm going to interview you for an episode.
I'm going to cuss a lot.
I know.
That's what Americans do. We cuss. Fire guns. That's
I got
what we
cash.
do. Ooh, cash is good. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert Norris says, howdy, Dave C.
Howdy, Robert.
Alex says, hi from Aberdeen, which is a suburb of Hong Kong.
Austin Villa says, what's up? I tell you what's up. My cholesterol after eating here for 10 days. That's what's up.
Look, his favorite restaurant, seriously, is Chili's. Like, I had to take him to Chili's today. He loves Chili's because there's not Chili's in the UK, is there?
No.
No.
Nothing close.
They have another chain called Warmies. Hey, Rob Foldy is in Italy right now, and Rob Foldy writes, all I brought with me to Italy was my Platypod Pro Max.
Not even clean pants.
No.
Wow, Rob travels light.
Rob does
And
travel
also,
light.
before we come, I've got to say hello to my wife because she's watching. I know she's
Is she?
watching. Yeah, she stayed up and she's watching. So hello. I'll be home in 2 days.
No, we won't. We're keeping him
With
here.
a ton of washing. So sorry.
We are keeping him here. All right. We are. So send us your websites, just your website URL. We're going to go look at them. We're going to take a short break. Won't be that short. It'll be a medium-sized break. We're going to take a medium-sized break. We're going to gather up some sites. When we come back, we're going to go look at them. Dave's going to critique the logos. We're going to both critique the layouts. And we're going to hope to give you some great advice. But that's only a hope, and we can't guarantee anything. Stick around. We'll be right back. We do have an announcement when we come back from break, and then we'll get to the other stuff. So stick around.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
We're back. Holy cow, that's not Dave Clayton. That's Jen.
That's right.
So I asked Jen to come and spend a few minutes with us because today's Jen's last day with us here. So Jen got a really enticing offer from another company, a great company, and today's her last day here.
Yes, it is.
And we're
Very
all
sad.
very sad. We're excited for you. It's fun to start a new
Yes,
chapter in
yes.
your life, but that doesn't make us any less sad.
Same here.
But we wish you the same success there that you had here. You did a tremendous amount of great while you were here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
And
it.
I loved working with you. Jen and I
too.
worked
Me too.
together a lot on bringing in new instructors. That was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
what we did. And Jen produces things. So like when we say, hey, Jen, I need to go to Las Vegas and I need a trailer and I need models and I need this and I need that. She wrangles this whole giant production together, not just for me, but for over 100 Kelby One instructors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we do a new class every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen puts those classes together
Yes.
every single week, whether we need location permits or hair and makeup or 6 models, 10 models, whatever it is that we need. If we need a car, if we need a truck, whatever it is, Jen makes it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're a make it happen person.
I am.
Who in the hell is going to make it happen when you're gone?
I don't know.
Is it you? Are you out there looking for a job and you want Jen's gig? Because I'm telling you, Jen's
Seriously.
gig is wide open. Anyway, Jen, I just wanted to give you a chance to say goodbye. I know you're going to miss all the
Yeah.
crew here because you guys all know Jen from the comments. You guys
Mm-hmm.
are like a family.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you're kind of walking away from your family is what you're doing here,
Oh, my
Jen.
gosh. Oh, my gosh. That's intense. No.
No. Well, maybe you'll come and visit us.
I will, definitely.
And maybe
Absolutely.
you can come and be a guest on the grid one day.
That'd be super fun.
can just
I would
come
love
in
that. I'm just down the road, so anytime you need me, yeah.
Well, how about
I'm here.
How about like Monday through Friday next week, and then and the week after that, and the week after that?
Right, definitely. Well, I am going to try to come to Photoshop World, actually.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously.
yeah.
It'd be
Excellent,
fun to like see
excellent.
everybody and all the coworkers and everybody out there
And
too.
have no responsibilities.
Have no responsibilities. Seriously. I told someone that today and they're like, oh, you're going to rub it in our faces, huh? You're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
not working. I was like, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Anyway, but I know a lot of you guys know Jen from being on the show here, and she does such a great job of wrangling everybody, putting all the kittens back in the box.
That's the perfect way to describe it, actually.
is.
It really is.
I know because we know that the chat here on the grid has a life of its own.
It
I'm not sure
does. It's
sometimes
so
that we
fun.
even need to be here because they start and do their own thing. But anyway, I did want to interrupt the Dave Clayton Love Fest for just a minute to have Jen on. And thank you very much for
Yes.
everything that you've done
Yes,
for
absolutely.
us. You have been a wonderful find for our company. I know you'll be a huge
thank you.
success at your new one.
Thank you.
We'll all miss you very much.
I will miss
Give me a hug.
everybody, too. Oh, my God.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to pull Dave out of the pub and pick up right after this comment, but let's all wave.
Bye,
to Jen.
guys.
All right, we'll be
ya.
back in a minute with Dave.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hi, we are back. Scott Kelby here with
Dave
UK resident Dave Clayton.
Pub legend.
Hey, thank you guys for Pop Legend. I like that. Pop Legend.
Pub legend.
Oh,
Pub.
pub legend.
Pub
I don't like
legend.
that nearly
Yeah,
as much.
not pub.
Anyway, glad to have you guys here. Thank you all. We got a bunch of people that sent in their portfolios and sites. I'm bringing them up here. Dave and I are going to look at them real quick. Just want to mention this Friday, here at the Kelby One Studios, we have a gallery opening for Moose Peterson. Now, I know they go through this process where they hang all the images and put them together, and Calibra oversees that, and she has a gift for putting them there. She came into our office. She's like, "Wait till you see these images! It's got to be amazing."
I've looked through it. It's
Oh,
Moose.
you saw him?
It's Moose, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen him yet. So I was in my office working on the grid today, and I did not get to see him. So I'm going to go see them here in the gallery. But that's Friday. If you're a Kelby One member and you want to come to the gallery opening, meet Moose, and enjoy wine and cheese and other food stuff, it's this Friday, which would be the 20th, I guess, Friday the 20th.
Yeah.
And you can come on by. We would love to have you, and bring a guest, no problem. And you have to go and sign up. Where do they sign up? You can go to Eventbrite and look for it. It's on eventbrite.com. You'll have to search for the gallery at Kelby One. You can find it there. Are there any seats left? We don't really know. I've been out. I've been in New York, dropping cameras, so I was very busy. Hey, also, speaking of dropping cameras, I'll be dropping a camera in Cincinnati in just a couple of weeks. I'm going to be in, the Cincinnati, Covington, Kentucky area. So I guess they're very close to each other, right? Like,
I know the place like the back of my hand.
Yeah, he's big on Kentucky. Anyway, I'll be there with my Lightroom seminar. So I had a great time in Columbus last week with everybody. Tons of fun. Really, really super nice people. Went to the best burger place of the year. Seriously, I kid you not. Best burger of 2018 in Columbus, Ohio. Who would have thunk? It's called I'll get you the name of it. It's the Something Tavern. And Ron from our IT guy sent me a note, and Ron said, "You got to go to this place." I'm like, "Dude, we ate there last night. We went there both nights. Best burger of 2018. A number of burgers on the road. Thurman's Cafe. Thank you. Ron just popped out on the set. Thurman's Cafe. Oh my gosh, that place is amazing.
So what was good about it? What's different to the other best burger you had?
One of the things that was really great about it was, and it's going to sound bad when I say it was a lot of beef, because it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of meat and all. You can definitely get a burger that's too much meat, and it ruins the burger. They have perfected the amount of burger, and it was so juicy. It was like a 9-napkin burger. It was so juicy. The bun was great. The place is great. I mean, it was just, and we tried different burgers. We went twice, so we tried different burgers and all. Absolutely just the most, like, all the ingredients were super fresh.
Yeah.
The burger was incredibly tasty. The place was awesome. It was like we're eating it, and Dave Gales and I, we have more. There's a story behind all this, but we were like both best burger of 2018. Great staff too. Really, really just
Do you
wonderful.
measure it by napkins? It's like, that's a 9-napkin burger then.
No, that would be a good idea, but no.
Yeah, no, and that's no star rating.
No. Sorry, but it was really phenomenal. So anyway, hope to see you in Cincinnati and Covington. I think it's like next week, like some weekend, like next Friday or something. Anyway, go to Kelby One Live and hope to see you there. Let's get on to some critiques. I happen to have some here that you guys have been kind enough to send in, and let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's a good. We should show my screen. I think I like that idea. Let's do that. Let's do that right now, and we'll look at. Well, let me resize my screen now because now it's kind of crazy. Oh, something terrible just happened. Well, I guess it's just going to be that. Nope, I think it's fixed. Here we go.
Okay.
So this is our first one. It looks like Kathleen Bowman photography. Now, I will say this on the break. I did look at some of Kathleen's work. Now, we're not here to critique your photography, but I like your photography. So good. You're already in a good spot. All right, Dave. We're here to really talk about the layout of your website and I like that. And your logo. So let's start with your logo. I'm going to zoom in here a little. Oh, if I zoom in, it'll look crazy. We're just going to leave it right there.
Yeah.
So, Dave, give us a little critique on the logo itself for Kathleen.
Okay, so the hardest job for me when a photographer says to me, "Can you do me a logo?" It's the easiest job in the world and it's the hardest job in the world. The easiest job in the world is because generally most photographers are Scott Kelby Photography or a Scott Kelby photographer. So therefore the logo will be a camera or the aperture or something.
Yeah,
so
the opening.
It's easy, but at the same time it's hard because trying to create a logo for a photographer without using any of those elements is really hard. So if you go for just your name and your initials, then I would say pick a good font that you can read for a start. In this case, you can, I've got my glasses on, I'm looking at the screen, I can read it. She's not used any iconography, so that's kind of good, but I think it's difficult when you use your name and just the word photography. There's only so many things you can do with that.
All right, let's go.
Zoom in a
So
little bit.
here I'm going to zoom a little bit this way. So
Yeah.
she attached the K and the B.
Yeah, which is quite a nice little touch, the way it comes around into the B. I always find when you have a big letter and then a small word, first I see Kathleen Oman when I see things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I see the second word first, and then I look at the initials, and then it's Kathleen Bowman. But I could tweak that.
How would you tweak that?
I would I'd make the K and B on their own for a start. I would try and work the K and B together.
Okay, so K and B would be the logo, and then you'd have Kathleen Bowman Photography.
Yeah, so that you can read the full name. And then I would maybe try and, I mean, it's got like is it a blue, grey?
Yeah, it's like a gradient that goes from blue to white.
Yeah, so if that's
with a black stroke.
if that's the colour that she likes, I'm a bit funny with scripty type sometimes because you can't always see what the letter actually is, and it reads funny. But I mean, as logos go, it's it does what it says on the tin. It's Kathleen Bowman Photography.
Right.
But
my problem is it's a little lost on the page.
yeah,
Because and what's weird is, here, let me get to the right size. What's weird about this, Kathleen, is that it's surrounded by white space, and so that does draw your eye to it. But then when you get there, it seems very. It doesn't seem.
it's drifting.
Yeah, and it's not with the. It's not helping. Let me just re-say all of that.
Okay.
It's not supporting the quality of your images.
Yes.
Like your images look professional, and your logo looks a little amateurish. It looks a little hand drawn. Like, hey, if I drew this with a pen, I can kind of connect it. But it wasn't done by a calligrapher, and it wasn't done by a commercial artist. It was done by a friend who's pretty good at drawing letters.
Yeah, which happens a lot with people is they've got a logo that they had 15 years ago, but they're not the photographer they were 15 years ago. And it's not that hard to change a logo or refresh it because as a photographer, it's not like you're a huge brand like Canon or Nikon and you're having to keep changing it. I would say look at the trends out there, look at what other photographers are doing and the kind of the colours and text, and it's not that hard to change. And also you're now thinking, when I design, I have to design for something that's quite small because I always think, what would it look like on an app? Right up to what would it look like on my T-shirt, on my polo shirt, on my business card. Even some people get their car wrapped. So I would say if you can freshen your logo, I would certainly look at freshening it up and try something a little bit different.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely time for that.
And encapsulate it in something.
Yeah.
Put it in a shape.
Can I tell you something that you might want to consider? And you may be resistant to this when I first say it, but it actually is better than you think. If you go to Adobe Stock and you type in photography logo, in fact, why don't we just do that? They're going to have, let's go to Adobe Stock.com. Is it just adobestock.com? Is it that
I
easy?
send a lot of people there. If they come to me and say, like I did Glenn's logo, and Glenn's is a one-off. It's GD, it's his head, and I can't replicate that. But I say to a lot of people, before I do any work for you, go and have a look at Adobe Stock and see what's out there, see what you like.
So they have a ton of stock logos, and a lot of them have these icons that Dave has been talking about, right? So I'm going to zoom in so you can see these a little better. Now, some of them will have a whole page. Like when you buy this, right, you get this entire, these are all in Adobe Illustrator. So they're vector. You can resize them to any size you want.
Yep.
They're, and you can, and look, like you get all 9 of those logos there. Now, you can take a piece of any of those. You can take half of one of those. You're not required to use them as is. You can put your logo in there. But can I tell you something? Was Kathleen, was it? I believe.
I think so, yeah, Kathleen.
So, Kathleen, if you took any of those 9 logos you see there to the left, erased their name, used the same kind of font spacing and stuff that they did, and wrote your name, you'd be light years ahead of, I think, where you are now.
And it wouldn't matter if someone else had the same icon for their photography because it's your photography that's selling you. It's the quality of your work that's selling you. The logo just adds that little sense of professionalism.
You want to support your images.
Yeah.
Because this is about your brand. and your photos are good, but your brand is kind of suffering. But anyway, this is just, you know how many of these there are here? We're looking at just a few on the very, very first page, right? There are thousands of these logos, and you can customize it and make your own, open them in Illustrator, pull out pieces that you want. But I think it would be very easy for you to take that logo. Look at this, a whole page of them right here.
See that one on the left, John Doe?
Right
if
here.
you go and look at my last Kelby One classes I did, I used that John Doe logo as my fake photographer.
Oh, there you go.
Because I needed a quick camera, quick photography logo, pick that one.
Yeah, there you go. I like those. Those kind of have that retro-y look. That's kind of hip.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's just tons and tons of them. Let's go just down lower, and let me just go all the way to the bottom here.
And that's why it's easy and hard, because you could go through here and pick a great looking logo.
But look, but it's funny what you said. They're all showing like the blades, the aperture blades, or whatever the technical term for, and a camera, and there's only so many things that you can do. But people look at all the different creative ways. There's drone pilots, right? But look at this. It's just like a butterfly thing.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? She shoots a lot of nature. Like she had the beautiful owl shot and stuff. That could be your photography logo, but it's just waiting there. And these are fairly inexpensive. These are you're not talking about $500 or something.
If you come back down again, scroll down, keep going, and a bit more. Okay, stop. So this camera here,
that one.
I mean, that first one, that's a nature photography.
Oh, yeah, with
a great little icon for a logo. Just change that, put your name underneath it into the side of it. Job done, logo. That's not to take anything away from professional logo designers, but a lot of photographers are never going to pay $2,000 for a professional logo. But
there you go. There's professional graphic designers designing logos for you. You just got to go and pick them up over there at adobestock.com. Hey, so anyway, nice photography. Thank you. The only thing that I would say about the layout of your site, let me go find your site here. Where was it? It was, all right, give me a second. Don't pull it up yet. I got to go find it. Here it is, Kathleen. All right, Kathleen, the only thing I would say about your site is, number one, you have beautiful images. They will be more beautiful, larger. If you want to have more impact, you got to make your images bigger. They should pick a template that's a lot larger than this. And then the other thing is, I have to hover over your thing called galleries to see what you offer. I would prefer, given a choice, to just look at your thing and say, oh, she sells fine art prints. Oh, she's got cards and products. You're making me look. You know what? I might come to your site and just watch the slideshow and never know that you have other galleries and all. But if you put them out there by name, I think that will help. So not bad. None of it's bad. But these are easy things you can do to make it a lot stronger, I think.
Just freshen it up.
All right. So let's just switch back to us here while I go choose another one. Hey, you know what we're going to do? Let me just pop up here. We're going to go look at Cheeky Nando's. And the reason why, and it's Cheeky Nando, is because, well, I love Cheeky Nando, and it's a drinking game. All right, here we go. Let me just give you a second here to come on. Let's hold on one sec. All right, here's Cheeky Nando. Well, Cheeky Nando starts by writing a little story. It's a story of love. You can show my screen here. There we go. And it's a little bit about, so he starts with an about us page. Is there, well, Nando, you know what I'm going to say. That should be under your about. When you go about me, that's the page that should come up. But now, I've seen Nando is a ace photographer. Yeah. Look at this stuff. He is super, super good. Like, as a photographer, he's just crazy. Now, let me see. I'm going to say the same thing that I said for Kathleen's, is if I click on portfolio, do you have different ones? Okay, no, it's just one. Okay, in that case, it's fine. You can just, I'm sorry about my screen there. Ooh, fix it. Sorry, that's just a thing with like AirPlay is doing something crazy. All right. So Fernando, you don't really have a logo. It's just some type. I would take the advice that we just gave Kathleen. I would go and find yourself a nice. Now you do have the Cheeky Nando logo. You have the little cheek. Where did it go?
Is it the page before? Yeah.
I would much rather, if you're going to go by Cheeky Nando. which darn it, I think you should. I would definitely make.
I mean, you could actually make quite a fun little photography logo there, even if you put the aperture ring in his stomach or something, just gave it
some kind of a thing,
or even a little camera and turned it into a chicken. Although
it's
I have to
cute,
say,
though.
I don't know. Right, can you tell me this? Because as an English person, the phrase is cheeky.
Yeah, he knows that. We've been.
So we wondered why he was chicken Nando.
We sat in Lisbon in a cafe and went through this.
Yeah,
because he had T-shirts made, and we're like, dude, it's cheeky Nando. It comes from the UK.
But I quite like that it's cheeky Nando.
Now, has Cheeky Nando been to the UK yet for a visit?
If he has, I've not met him yet.
So Nando's is a restaurant in
Everywhere.
the UK. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I've eaten there. I've eaten there by mistake, and then Dave Williams and Peter Treadway took me there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've eaten at this place. They took me to a place I've already been. Very, very good. And they go, it's because then when they told me we're taking you to Cheeky Nando's, Cheeky is not part of their name.
No. So a couple of people have asked me this. If I say, like last night, I was in my hotel room and I just put out on Facebook, I'm in Oldsmar, anyone fancy coming out for a cheeky pint? What that is it means you would go and do something that you weren't expecting to do. So it's like, do you know what? I will pop out and I'll have a cheeky pint. I wouldn't normally have one, but I'll go out and have one. So a cheeky Nando's is, I'm a little bit hungry. Do you know what? I can have a little cheeky Nando's. Like, you shouldn't do it, but you will. That's where that comes from.
No one ever described that to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin Scott said, put a camera strap on the chick.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's just simple little things. He's got a standout name and a logo. He should use it.
I do like the Cheeky Nando. I mean, I will say this, even though it's spelled wrong, and now he's got cheekynando.com, so it's too late. We're all in on Chicky. So that's Cheeky Nando.
Well, they sell chicken.
They do sell chicken, so it is good. So anyway, just I think you got something there, Cheeky Nando. Now, I will say this, Nando, and I'm being serious when I say this. I can't say that logo really ties in to the quality of your work.
Yeah.
Like, you've got like these epic shots, and then it's like Cheeky Nando. So I'm not sure the two of them go together. Maybe that's why it's on this page and not on your other page. But I mean, you have such great photography. You are worthy of a great logo. You should definitely have one.
That first page with that kind of Comic-y Sans font.
Yeah.
Okay, it's quirky, it's funny, but like you say, it takes away completely what he is. When you go onto his website, he's actually got some nice typography. I like the font.
Yeah.
Even though he's not got a logo, I like the font that he's chosen. It looks like it's a 2018 website.
Yeah.
It's
suits
modern.
the images.
Yeah, it matches him. It's nice and clean and not distracting.
All right. Cheeky Nando. All right. Hey, I want to just give a shout out to Clyde here. Clyde Seltzer, he says, this is my first live grid. I just joined Kelby One this week. Way to go, Clyde. I'm glad to have you on board very, very much. Hey, there's classes from Dave Clayton on there. More coming, by the way.
It's 4. 2 more to come.
2 more to come. All right. Let's look at, let me find another one here, because I saw a beautiful one right over, hold on. This one's very nice. Let's go look at this one.
Yeah.
All right. So,
can I go first?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what website they've used, but sometimes when you buy, let's say Squarespace, just for example, it's kind of templated. So it says, like, type your name here, type your strapline here, like WordPress. So what it looks like he's done is he's typed his name in the place where it said type your name here.
Right.
And put your Instagram icon where the Instagram icon's going to go.
Right.
And that's it. So that's not. Oh, is it Adobe Portfolio, that one?
Oh, that's an Adobe Portfolio.
Yeah. So I'm sure you can upload a logo into Adobe Portfolio. And again, it goes back to if he's just taking photos and
he's got nice photos, though.
Yeah, he's great. It may be that he's not got a business and therefore he's not. It doesn't matter that he hasn't got a logo. It's just a website with his images, in which case, fine, his name's there and that's okay. But if it was a business, I would be saying,
yeah, it's time for a logo.
Yeah.
Very nice stuff, though. So good photography. We're not critiquing photos, but yours are good anyway. But yeah, I'd agree. You know what? I kind of like it is a little striking. Oh, there's that stuff.
Yeah.
That's my screen. Sorry about that. It is striking when you come there. You've got this one black and white photo. Like, I kind of like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see, because you know what? That looks like the same font that they used to write speed limit 55. I think you deserve more than that. So I would take that advice. You know, now of course there are places online that will design you a logo, and it's amazing how inexpensively they will give you 20 different logo looks, and they'll tweak them and stuff. For $100, you can have a designer design a logo for you.
And before the designers come in and jump on my back for condoning that, things like Fiverr and 99 Designs. The thing is it's like any trade. If you are good at what you do and you can charge the price that you charge, the clients you're going to get have the budget to do that. But I've always said, you know, someone who's just left their business and is selling cupcakes is never going to pay $2,500 for a logo.
No.
Their budget is 50 quid. They're going to go on Adobe Stock, they're going to go on Fiverr, they're going to go somewhere. As long as they've got something, it's better than having something bad or nothing at all. But not everyone has to pay top dollar for a website or top dollar for a logo. So I wouldn't use them, but if you're a mum and pop store or something and your budget is small, then go to a place where your budget will fit. You could end up with a logo that 50 other people have got, but you're getting something.
But I think you make a great point there, Dave, because I think photographers need to hear this. Because I know there's a lot of photographers that are like, oh, there shouldn't be these Adobe stocks, and there shouldn't be places to buy inexpensive stuff, and they're ruining it for everybody. The people that go to Adobe stock were never going to go to Getty.
Yeah.
There are different markets, and it's okay for graphic designers to go, look, there's a market that's not being served, people who will never have a good logo.
Yeah.
I can serve that market.
Yeah.
I can serve that market. I know other designers, we can serve that market. And we can also do $2,500 designs for that market. But I think if photographers want to go, okay, stock photography is only this one market where it's all expensive. But there are people that write blogs and go to Facebook. They're not going to pay $50. No. They're not going to pay $100 for a graphic that's gone in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They're not buying and there's a whole market for that. And so just like in photography, just like in graphic design, there's a market for people who aren't making a living doing their photography, but they want to look professional.
Yeah.
And they want to present themselves in a way where their logo supports the photography.
Yeah. Because a photographer will go and, like, we got a shop in England called Poundland. Everything's a pound. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have Dollar Tree.
yeah. So let's say Dollar Tree. So by that token, what you're saying is if you don't agree with going to buy a cheap logo, you should never shop in Dollar Tree or Poundland. You should go to Harrods.
Yeah,
you should buy everything at Harrods because you should spend the most for the finest quality goods, and we don't do that. We pay what we can afford, and if we have to go and buy a T-shirt from Poundland or a T-shirt from, Abercrombie and Fitch, which never fits me anyway, they're like for skinny people.
I know, I hate that store.
Yeah, so we spend less money on things we should spend more. The same applies for photography. Was it Pexels? The class I did yesterday, I used 2 images from Pexels.com, which were free images for commercial use. But for the class, they were perfect.
Yeah.
But each to their own, I think.
All right, we're going to look at one more, then we're going to take a break. Hold on. This one, let me get it up, make sure it's going to load. We're going to go see Rose Kieran. So let's take a look. She's working on hers. And this looks like an Adobe Portfolio 1. Ooh, nice images. Motorsport, yeah. Yeah. All right. It looks like that Rose is using the same portfolio as GW was.
Yeah.
I like her centered big name first, but it says Rose on top, and then Rose, it says your name in big letters again. I would get rid of the one at the very top, like this one up here, Rose, where it says your name.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I can use this as an arrow. There's half an arrow. It won't do that side. So I would get rid of the other one. But of course, it would be nice to see a logo, like a regular logo instead of just type.
Again, if Rose not necessarily that she has to do it as a business, because this is the thing with photography, is you don't have to suddenly buy a camera and think, I need a business, I need a logo, I need to start making money. You can just enjoy it. I'm a logo fan. I just think it's so easy to have a logo. It seems silly not to. But, you know, you go on a website, Rose Karen Photography, her images are going to speak for herself. If she went into business, I would say get some kind of iconography.
This is a great question, because Elizabeth Marlin is asking almost what you're saying here. When do you know it's time to get a logo?
When people start saying, I think you need a new logo. No, it's... I always say to people when they ask for a logo, if they think they need a logo and they're asking the question, I'll have a look and say, well, what do you need it for? What's your next step? What's your plan?
What are you trying to communicate through it?
So are you trying to get bigger clients, in which case you're going to be doing some branding, you're going to be doing a new website. Again, it's down to feedback, because, you know, we know lots of brands that have had the same logo for years and years and years. But I think when you're a smaller business, I think when it's hard, because was it never kill your darlings? Or no, always kill your darlings. So sometimes you've got to let them go.
I've never heard that saying. It's probably a British thing.
But it basically means you're too close to it, and sometimes you have to kill the thing that you love, because, you know, like your niece made it,
right?
And you love your niece, and you don't want to upset her feelings. But you know what? You used papyrus, and
hey, you know what I would say? Can we go back and look at Rose's website? So, Elizabeth, if I was answering this question for Rose, and Rose was asking me, how do I know when it's time to get a logo? I would ask yourself this question, Rose. Are the words Rose Kieran Photography in big letters, is that making your photography look better? Is it making someone come to your site and go, ooh? Because a beautiful logo there could really make a difference. Like a beautiful logo that is expressive of what you shoot. Yeah. Now, you also shoot motorsports, so you may want more of a rugged logo. You may want to choose more of a, you know, it's going to appeal to that audience. But I would want a logo that works with my pictures, that works with them and kind of goes, this is who I am as a photographer, and this is, you know, how I shoot. And so I would say that. You just have plain text there. That's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But as inexpensive as it is to get a logo, I would ask yourself this question, Rose, is this helping my photography or hurting it? Now, one thing that will help your photography is for me to take a look at your motorsports, just because I want to. I'm sorry. Just indulge me. I love motorsports photography.
See, for her shooting motorsports, this is one thing I think that would help her in having a logo, is if she wants to get in and start getting behind the scenes and start getting passes. Ooh. I think a logo with her name to make it look like she's a photography business will get her closer to getting there. If she just had her name, I don't think it would work. And do you remember when Larry, you used to go out with his tripod and he made that fake pass that like he had some kind of authority? Because he showed that, people accepted that it was a real thing. And I think if you have a name and a logo and a brand, when you're trying to get into these places, like to get a pass and showing that you're not just a stay-at-home mum or dad with a camera, you're more likely to get in.
I love your pictures, Rose. I know it's not a critique show, but I love them. I love all the smoke, and I love I'm seeing a lot of American muscle cars, which is awesome. I love the smoke and tires. I also love the panning shots where you get some wheel spin. That's one of my favorite ones right there. Move that one up in the list, Rose. It's not about critiques, but anyway, that's really nice. You know what I love about her photography? Look at the vibrancy of the colors. But she doesn't push them too far. Like
so
the
I'd
color
have a vibrant logo. For her, I'd have something that's really punchy. And
something that makes me go, All right. So anyway, outside of that, there's the my calculator. Anyway, so just a couple little things there for Rose. All right, let's look at some more. We'll look at one more and then we'll take a break. Let's look at this one. Ooh, nice shots. So this is the Lonely Ones.
Yes. See, I quite like that.
The Lonely Ones?
Yeah. It's clean.
Well, it fits with the site.
It's as you move the images up, it shrinks down. You can still read it. It doesn't have to have anything, but I like that it's in a little box.
Yeah. You know what though? I would, as far as the layout goes of this site, I would like. There's a lot of stuff
There's a lot of stuff at the top.
Yeah, like
in a lot of
this
space.
whole gap is look how much. So that's how I see your picture. I only see part of that. So
Yeah.
what I'm seeing there, I don't have a way. Maybe if I go into your portfolio, but I don't have a way to see your entire photo on screen. I can only see at any one time a third
That's
of
like a bird's nest.
your photo. Dave said that's a bird's nest. So let's go real quick and look at your portfolio. Is that it? Portfolio.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Portfolio. Yeah, that top needs to.
Yeah,
vamoose.
that top is way too big. Yeah, great photos
Yeah.
though. Great photos. The photos are rocking.
And I'm sure there's a setting in that, because that's a template. There must be a setting in that template where you can push all this stuff or hide it. So as you start to scroll, it will go up to the top.
Yeah,
Because it's using a lot of real estate up
yeah
there.
taking up a lot of real estate.
Because even as that, see, the logo shrinks, but none of the
It's
rest
Johan. Look, right there. It's Johan. Johan. All
right, Johan. Great images, but get rid of that. Get rid of all that.
And Dave
dead
likes
space at the
your
top.
logo.
Oh, I like your logo, and I didn't know it was you.
All right, there you go. All right. Let's take a short break. We're going to take a short break. We come back. We've got a bunch more here. And feel free to show us some if we can get to them. We'll be glad to. But we've got a couple stocked up here. But yeah, shoot us some if you want. We're going to take a short break. Dave Clayton's here. Juan's here. Jen's still here for a few more minutes. Sniff, sniff.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Quite good.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Dave Clayton. We're looking at different websites and stuff. Hey, just want to mention two things real quick. So I did a post on my trip to Venice recently. I went to Venice. I did a workshop and just had a ball. I had a great group of people. We had so much fun. I did an Adobe Spark page. So it's a storytelling website, and I actually can show you it real quick here. Let's just go to Adobe. It's spark.adobe.com. There it is. All right. And let's see if I can bring it up. But anyway, there was a problem with my Spark page, and people started telling me about it. People were saying that your images look pixelated. And I went and looked at them, and they absolutely did. I looked at the full screen images, and they looked terrible. And people were on Facebook going, your images are like... So anyway, I contacted Adobe, and sure enough, there was a problem with their uploader. They fixed it. And so if you saw my images before, I would invite you to go back again, because they're nice and crisp. And so they were...
Your strapline, Scott Kelby, not as bad as you first thought.
That's my new logo. That's my new tagline. Not as bad as you thought. But anyway, if you go to my Facebook page or my blog like last week, this is my awesome group right here. I had the best, most fun group. I was so blessed. You know, when you do a workshop, you're getting people from all over. We had people from the UK, and we had people from, one guy was from Lebanon, lived in Lebanon for 25 years, and then Americans and Canadians and all. Just the best group of people. Everybody, we got along like a family from day one. It was just so much fun. Hey, here's one of the guys, Scott. Hey, Scott Burger is here. Hey, Scotto. Yeah, I talked like Mario the whole time I was there. By the end, they wanted to stab me. But anyway, Scott's an awesome guy. I had a lot of fun. He and I had so many laughs. It was ridiculous. Anyway, but go look at it. It's my new saying is, I'm not as bad as it looked last week. So, but thanks to Adobe, they saw the problem, they got right on it, they fixed it, and there was something to do with the uploader or whatever. They're supposed to render this high-res thing, but it didn't. It wasn't rendering.
They'd be using the Facebook engine.
They were using the Facebook engine that destroys your photos. No, I don't know what it was, but anyway. I want to mention that also Photoshop World is coming up in...
next month.
At the end of next month. It's the last day of May and the first 2 days of June. You got to come. It is going to be so much fun. Dave Clayton will be there.
I will be there.
What are you teaching?
I'm teaching 2 InDesign classes and a brand new one called Get Inspired by Graphic Design.
Oh, yeah.
And that one's good for the photographers. They're going to enjoy it.
All right. So we'll hope you come out and check out Photoshop World. It is in Orlando. It's at the Hyatt Convention Center. We've got the whole place to ourselves. We're not in the Orlando Convention Center. We're right there in the Hyatt. It's beautiful. A new facility, just absolutely gorgeous.
It's a great convention center. They had one on last year, didn't they, while we were there?
Yeah. They had somebody else was holding their convention there. We're like, why are we here? But anyway, we are this year, so we're very excited about it. Got some new instructors coming in. So we got some new design instructors. Mark Heaps, Jesus Ramirez. So
it's going to
be great. You know who will be there? Glenn Dewis. I see a comment from Glenn.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn.
Glenn, so what Glenn said, and we've chatted about this before, is some people get so hung up, they spend loads of time fretting over it and thinking about it. So hand it over to someone else, whether it is Fiverr or whether it's...
What is Fiverr?
So Fiverr is you can go on and everything's $5. But it's like the basic thing. So if you listen to the podcast, we ran 2 fake adverts, one for coffee and one for entrepreneurs. If you listen to it, they are good. So we went on, we typed in voiceover artist, and you go on and they say, we'll record a voiceover for you, like 120 words, $5. But if you want 240 words, it's another $5. If you want it in one day, it's another $10. So it kind of starts off at $5, but we ended up paying like $80 for the voiceover because it was commercial use, because it was a podcast.
Gotcha.
So it's not that, everything's $5. It's not. The person's getting paid. But the person who's doing it, if they're making, say, $80 every 5 minutes for a day, they're making a lot of money. They are being paid very well. So they've found a market that works for them. But hand it off to someone else. Let them spend the time doing it because they're the expert. You're the photographer. They're the designer.
Good point.
Hand it over and then work with photographers should learn to work with designers, and designers should learn to work with photographers because we use their images and they need our services. And if each knows what the other wants and needs, because I'll make this really short, but I had a conversation with a photographer that wanted to hire me. And I said, what's your budget? And he went, I don't know, budget? I thought you could knock something up, kind of conversation. I said, well, £250? So I said, okay, let's talk about your business. And I got him chatting about his business and said, tell me about it. Let's see the caliber that I'm looking to design for. What do you do? Where do you shoot? I do this. So if someone wants to hire you, how much do you charge? Well, I charge £500 for like half a day shoot, and for a full day I'll be charging £1,000, and I'll be going along. I'll do all this. I'm like, okay, great, brilliant. Okay, so it's okay for you to charge £1,000 for a day, and you won't pay me £250 for probably it's going to be a week's work going back and forth designing iterations of your logo.
Yeah, there is back and forth with design.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen very often in photography.
No,
much,
you kind of shoot the wedding or shoot whatever and it's done. So you're never going to go back and reshoot. So my argument with him was, so you're worth £1,000 for a day, £1,000 for a day. I'm having to struggle to get £250 off you to create your brand for you to get more £1,000 a day gigs. I walked away from it because you used the words knock up a logo, which is not the language a designer wants to hear, because it's like me saying, I'll take a couple of snaps. What? £1,000 for the day? I thought you could just take a couple of snaps. So if photographers value their time and work and effort, they have to respect other people's time, work and effort. So, don't moan that you're not getting paid for a job and then go on and ask for a free makeup artist or a free model. That's just my opinion as a non-photographer. I value everything you need for your business, whether it's a designer, anything. There's free, and if it's free, you're the product. So like social media. But if you want something good, invest and pay because it feels better. It feels more. Well, as long as money changes hands, and you've used someone who's good at what they do, if you're going to use your nephew and you're going to pay him a bag of sweets, that's fine. That's down to you.
A bag of sweets?
Yeah, a bag of sweets.
Do people pay in bag of sweets?
I've taken bags of sweets.
We've all taken bags of sweets. We've all done it.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Crystal Jones. First time catching the grid live. Also looking forward to my first Photoshop World next month.
Woo! Won't regret it. I remember my first one. I met you, 2010.
Yeah, that was in Las Vegas.
It was indeed.
Was it at the pool at Mandalay Bay?
It was.
It was weird. You were completely naked, and I was taken back. I was like,
someone told me that's what you liked. So
they were right. Anyway, but it
was a cold night.
And then we went back to the logo design. So let's take a look at a couple more here. Let's just jump over here. This one, that one can't come up.
Yep.
So let's not show that one. And let's not cut to that screen when there's nothing on it. Just saying. Just saying. You see a dead screen. How about this one?
Yes.
Here we go. This is an actual screen there.
Okay. First impressions is I like the logo. I like they've added that little hint of a camera at the top.
Yep.
I like the solid font with the light font.
I do
to give
too.
some contrast. They've got a little tagline. There's a lot of space being used up the top there. I think it could scooch up a bit there, but that's a web critique thing. They've got all what they do lined out. So home, design, landscape. So I would say they're a designer first, a photographer second, because they put design first.
And look at that nice soccer logo there.
Yeah.
That's a nice logo.
And that's the kind of thing that, you can see a lot of that on Adobe stock, but that's I like that. It stands out. I can see it's exactly for a football thing.
Yeah.
I like the lettering underneath as well. That's really cool.
You know what else I like? I like the contrast. So look at the word Solid Media Concept. So you have very thick letters for Solid Media. You have very thin letters in the same font for Concept. So that creates contrast. Those letters are all tight together. And look at the tagline, driven by creativity. There's lots of space between the letters,
Yeah.
which creates contrast. It's very nicely done. But I would say this to you, and I don't mean this in a bad way. This is going to sound like a kind of a backhanded compliment. But I would say this. The soccer logo you did, which is excellent, is actually better than your own logo. I bet you put a lot of time into that soccer logo. Your logo should kick butt.
Yeah.
Your logo's good. Don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of good things, but it's I look at that soccer logo, I'm like, you did that? I look at the thank you and all that, and I'm looking at that other stuff, I'm like, wow, you did those?
Actually, yeah, interestingly, they've gone, there's no word photography in that logo, and yet they've gone for a photography logo without the word photography in the name, and they're a very good designer.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying they're not a good
they could have
photographer.
done their portfolio alphabetically, D and L and P. Yeah, they could have said, well, So, but I mean, you're obviously a really talented designer and a good photographer as well. You ought to have your logo, step up that logo. It's a good logo. It's one of the best we've seen today. But you're capable of making that soccer logo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mode Expressions, I tried to put in your site and I cannot get it to come up. MODEXPR. I'm going to try it one more time because we cannot get it to come up. Let's try. www.modexpressions.com. Let's see. Oh, it came up this time. Yay. Here we go. Ooh, nice. I haven't been to that location in a whole day. I was just shooting there yesterday. Literally just shooting there yesterday. Nice photos. Hey, that's a polar bear.
Nice full page.
Yep. I love the size. So, Kathleen, if you're watching, look at the size and impact of these photos. I was just there a few weeks ago. Very nice. Nice photos. I like the kind of stuff kicked off to the side because it doesn't get in the way of the big photos.
And it's a dark theme, and the images are, apart from that one, she's quite bright, but it's still, the contrast is nice. But there's a lot of darker themed photos in there as well, which looks nice. And obviously, again, with the template is you tend to type in, that it gives you a font and types in. But
you can upload a logo there. You can upload a graphic logo there, no problem. You do not have to use the default type thing that came there. I know it's easy to just type in your name, but I think, if you're going to the extent that you are and you're serious about your photography and stuff, it's logo time.
Yeah. You can read it as soon as you hit the page, you know where you are. So the Mod Expressions is nice. I can't read the strapline underneath because it's in like
it
grey,
says a life through a lens.
Okay.
But it's not hard to read when I'm looking like right here. No. Nice site. This one's pretty well done all the way around.
Yeah.
And nice photos.
I love the colour in that as well.
I know, right?
Yeah, great photography.
All right, let's take a look at another one here. And there we go. Let's see what's closed that one. Let's go to, we did that one already.
Yeah.
Brian Stockton, we're calling you. Come on down. All right, this looks like also maybe a smug mug, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I like the photography. We got good photographers today.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you're doing that thing, and it's not bad, guys. but we're talking about logos.
Yeah.
Typing in your name is not bad.
No.
But it's just typing in your name in the font that looks like everything else. And Brian, you look like you're doing headshots for a living here.
It's not bad headshots either.
No, he's obviously a very good photographer.
And again, you know, is Brian Stockton photography a business or a hobby? If it's a hobby,
I think this is a business.
I mean, he could be making money out of this.
You wouldn't take headshots of people endlessly, you know.
No.
Like a shot like this, you could say, "Oh, that I did that for a friend," and
Yeah.
it's a good shot. I'm not talking about the quality of the shot. Those other shots look like they were done for social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look at that's a lovely shot
know.
right there. That's really nicely done.
There was one guy there, a couple back, he just needed a mini shebang. He just
Mini
needed
shebang?
A mini shebang. Just
Mini
needs to
shebang.
pull that chin forward.
Hey, look at that. Michael says logo will be created. Thanks.
Good man.
Look at that nice shot. Good photographer.
Yeah. So my suggestion, Brian, is make something not just nice and clean. Don't go throwing the kitchen sink into it. You're a great great headshot photographer. Make it nice and clean, easy to read. Don't go chucking a ton of colours and stuff in there.
Hey, Glenn has a
because-
question here. He's asking for you, Dave. He says, Dave, would you suggest keeping the design and photography on separate sites for the gentleman that had the design and the...
I personally wouldn't have mixed it all up because I do think it's distracting because it depends what you want to make money at, what you want to do business as. Because I think being a designer and being a photographer are two very different things because they take different amounts of time and you get different kinds of clients. Yes, I would. I would definitely have a design website. They can be under the same site, but I'd have a design area and a photography area. And depending on how you push your business, you could... I mean, I just did a logo for a guy who, Mike Stapleton, he shoots 3 kinds of things. So I made him 3 logos using the same element with 3 different colours because he wanted to have individual... Like, he wanted his landscape on its own, he wanted his portrait on its own, and his corporate on its own. So we created 3 different logos so he can just run a website for one. So if you want to get...
He would send the appropriate clients to the appropriate website.
Exactly, yeah. And he'd use it on a business card or on... Rather than be, hey, look, I shoot everything, because that's a red flag for me. When someone says they shoot everything, that means they specialize in nothing. Yeah.
Hey, Alan Hess. Hi, Alan. How you doing, buddy? Alan says, I had a designer do my logo. I'm not a designer.
Do you know who designed his logo?
Who designed his
Remember
logo?
Fergs?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did it.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's got a thing that she does a thing called Whiffables now, which...
Yeah.
But yeah, she's still around. She's still...
All
she's
right,
not doing...
good.
Yeah, but yeah, she did that one.
We're just having a private conversation now,
Yeah.
me and Dave. Really? So she's...
I like Alan's
oh,
logo, yeah.
So what's...
But when Alan's logo needs refreshing,
It's time to call Dave.
I'm going to be knocking on that door.
All right. Lenworth says, thanks for the feedback, Scott. You bet. Brian in Iowa says, thank you, Dave and Scott. I want/need a logo, but really want to keep it clean and simple. Hey, clean and simple is where
Yeah.
it's at.
Google it. Pull up Google, type in, like if you do landscape photography, just type in landscape photography logo and Google, or go on Adobe Stock and just look at what's out there and make some notes. Think about, what you like, what colors do you like. So don't be a landscape photographer and go for a pink logo. Think of what's going to, when people land there, what are they going to think?
All right, we're running out of time. So let's go look at this one here. Dalton Ham, friend of the show. And a very good photographer. Look at that. That's a striking opening picture right there.
Yeah.
Look at that wheel spin. Now, Dalton, I know you're watching. You got to tell me, did you use a car rig? I'm thinking this is a car rig shot. And we'll explain what a car rig is once you answer. You would know what a car rig is, but that's really nicely. I love his logo.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his name's a little signature one, so at least it's a little bit different. He's got a great name anyway. He's like Glyn. There's no one else called that.
Right.
So
Yeah, and it's kind of hip sounding.
yeah, and he's spread photography out, so it's nice space in between it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
nice.
that one. And I like the colours on the website. So that opening image matches the logo, so it complements.
All right, but here we go, though. Let me ask you this. So we go to work and up pops sports. Why doesn't it just say sports gallery or sports portfolio? Because you're making me go over it and then go down to sports. It should just be a direct link. Just like take us right to it. Don't put an intermediate step before getting to your work. And we have sports thumbnails. Now, this is weird, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this, and you can take it for what they're worth. When I see a bunch of thumbnails like this,
Yeah.
I'm going to see 1 or 2 shots, and I'm gone. I'm not going to click 16 times. I would rather, like we've seen other ones where you can scroll through or just kind of briefly go to the next big image. I think those are kind of more effective, honestly. Let's take a look at this one. See, it's big. Once you're there, you can scroll through. I guess it's not bad once it's big. But you know what it is? Thumbnails don't inspire anybody. That first image makes me think, wow, what a great photographer.
Yeah.
And then I get a bunch of thumbnails.
Thumbnails tell me you've got too many.
Yeah, he doesn't, though. He actually
He's
has
got a few in
16.
there, but sometimes people have like long rows of thumbnails and it's
but
mixed up.
You know what? Especially since you only have 16, just take me to big images. Like when I click on your work, take me to like really big stuff. And so I can just go right to this. I want to see it big right off the bat. Seeing it small and then only seeing a couple of them. I like that shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I like the water coming out the back of that car.
I love the water coming out of the back of that car. So that's a fire truck Charger, that's called it. And it's this limited edition, the fire truck Charger. That, you know, when ships come in, like a new ship comes into the port of New York, they drive those cars out.
See, that's a distraction. I'd take that picture out.
Oh man,
that's
that's got to go. That's you know that's got to go, right, Dalton? All right, but good stuff overall, really good stuff. Let's look at one more.
Who have we got?
All right, Ian Monroe. So Ian was the guy that have you ever met Ian?
So can I tell you quickly? I know we're going to go over. Ian said to me, not even 18 months ago, Dave, should I join Kelby One? And I said, Ian, if you join Kelby One, I can submit one of your photos and you can be in the magazine, but I can only do it if you join Kelby One. So that's a benefit in itself. So he goes, do you know what? I'll join. So he joined. Dave, I've joined. Right, send me a picture. I send it to Chris. 2 weeks later, Chris comes back and goes, do you think Ian would be okay if we used this image for the front cover? And I went, I don't even have to ask Ian. Yes. I went back to Ian and I went, mate, they want to use your image for the cover, but you're not going to be interested in that, are you? And then he typed some nice things. Yeah. So he gets the cover. He's only been a member not even a month. He gets the cover of the January edition of Photoshop User Magazine. So I then get to interview him, and he gets his interview, and then he enters the first gallery, becomes a finalist. Then he enters the gallery again, becomes a finalist. He ends up getting the gallery. He gets another cover. I interview him again. I said, mate, you deserve that. Now, that doesn't mean every single person I convinced to join Kelby One will get that, but that was from a should I join Kelby One? So if that alone doesn't tell people. And then he winds up
winning the gallery competition, has the thing. He's amazing.
He is. He's the nicest friendly guy.
I hated to take his images down from the gallery. It's like, can we just keep these? So good news to Ian. His images did come down, and we're going to ship him all of those images because that's the cool thing. Bay Photo makes it available for the winners to get when the gallery show's over.
Yeah.
To get all of their images.
And I think someone said today when they were being taken down, I think they're going to Photoshop World.
Oh, they might be going to Photoshop World first.
I think they're going to Photoshop World
tight.
first and then him.
Sit tight.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay, so Dalton Ham did say, yep, it's a rig. So let me go back to Dalton's first shot because I love that first shot. That first shot crushes. Let me get off of the sports. There we go. So this shot. So you see how those wheels are spinning like mad and the background's zooming and all? So it's a rig is basically, it is a pipe that comes off the car. Now I have a rig that goes under the car.
Yeah.
That's magnetic. And then we've done rigs with suction cups. And they come off the car and basically you're going to do a long exposure.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have a friend push the car really slow. You're not going to push 5 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour. You're literally just going to just push and push slowly.
Okay.
And
he's not like drifting around the corner.
No,
like
he's
Fast
probably
and
going
Furious.
1 mile an hour. Literally, he's going like a kilometer or two an hour. He is just going nothing. I mean, but then you have to clone that whole thing out afterwards. Your camera's upside down, hanging upside down. Usually you can't even have anybody in the car.
Right.
You have to keep vibration to a minimum, but it works amazingly well. And so when you see those amazing shots like that, so kudos to you, Dalton, for taking, it's not an easy thing to do a car rig.
No.
It's seriously not. It takes an investment in time. You have to practice it and try different things and all, but that's a great looking car rig shot. Really well done.
No, he's a good
And I love the effect on the lights there and all. Well done. Very good photography, Dalton. Hey, let's see what we were going to say. There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, Larry's here. Larry from Platypod. Larry says, I just finished seeing patients, and I want to invite you all to stop by our booth next month at Photoshop World. So Platypod is one of our exhibitors there. Yeah.
I've not met them yet.
They're going to sell so many Platypods at Photoshop World. So it was funny. Did you see Melanie in her commercial for her class?
Yeah.
She's got the Platypod Max there.
Oh, wow.
She was setting it up and all. Platypods. So I was using Platypods all over New York, and Eric looks at me at one point and says, "One day everyone will own one." Like every time I don't use it. I mean, first off, disclaimer: yes, they are a sponsor of the show. That's not why I use them. I use them because they're the greatest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I used my tripod once or twice and got in trouble. I got in trouble the only time I can remember using it in any kind of a place that like I used it outdoors on the seaside. But you know what started happening? When I got my tripod up to where I wanted, the wind would blow and I could see it physically moving. I had to put all the pipes down and stuff. So when you use a Platypod,
it's not a tripod.
It's not a tripod. It's the greatest. I can fit it in my pocket. I actually will attach it to my camera, leave the ball head and it on, and I just go around with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Larry, thank you for being a sponsor, but thank you for making such an awesome product that everybody you talk to that has one loves it.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
I mean, they're taking. I mean, they're a sponsor because you use it. They're not. You don't use it because they're a sponsor.
No.
I remember the first time you started using it, and I'm like, "What? That little plate is going to do that?" And then when you see the shots from it, you use it for sports, don't you? When the players run out,
I use it for everything. I use it for everything. Let me see if I can find a Platypod shot for you. Hold on. I took a couple of shots for my class. I'm going to see if I can show you one here.
Oh, I love seeing an InDesign file on your desktop.
All right. I love InDesign. I use it all the time. Hold on. Let me open this thing in Photoshop. Let me get it sized correctly. Oh, it looks,
New York.
Yeah. Take a look at this. You know it's a Platypod. It's down on the ground. So that's my Platypod in the middle of the street. And I wanted, because when you stand there like everybody else, there were so many people. It took us like 20 minutes to get enough people out of the way to take one shot. But I put the Platypod down, and I'm using the Canon Camera Connect app.
Yeah.
So I can get it on the ground, get it where I want it, and I can use the app to fire it. I can see previews.
Can you get it low down enough that if you were doing video, you could maybe like get a car to come and drive over it? Is it? I mean, how high?
It's 3 inches. Well, it's only 3 inches off the ground, but then there's the camera above it.
And the ball head.
I'd have a truck drive over it. I wouldn't have that Mercedes on the left drive over it. It might make it over it, but I don't know. But look, that's the Empire State Building off in the distance and all. But anyway, that's the Platypod Ultra, the little one, in action. It was with me everywhere I went in New York. It fits right in my bag.
Yeah.
I have a whole class coming up. So what I was doing was I was filming a class. I think I mentioned this called A Photographer's Guide to New York. So it's all the cool places to shoot and then how to shoot it when you get there.
And the gear.
Well, Dave, I think we've run out of time.
Yeah. Just for Ben, Gather Cold Day, where can we submit images for Photoshop user? If you're a member, you can submit images. And if you do, contact me. So myself and Rachel.
Oh, well, you can actually just go to the Kelby One Insider blog. Go to the Kelby One Insider blog. We always put out calls for entries and stuff there. That's a good place to go. I was looking up something else. That's a good place to go. But yeah, and also just follow Kelby One Pics. If you tag a photo with Kelby One Pics over on Instagram, that's another great place to get featured in the magazine.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one we're going to do. fab-photo.com. We're going to take a look, the last one of the day. And let's get tight on that logo. Let's just zoom in a little bit here.
Photo retouching, restoration, and colorization.
Okay. Thoughts, Dave?
I know this person.
Do you?
Yeah, it's Deb.
It's Deb.
She's one of our podcast listeners. I don't know Deb. I know Deb's contacted me, and I don't know at what stage this is her business. I would say to Deb, I would definitely change your logo. Just because
He says that with love, though.
Yeah, I say it with love. It's one of those that it looks like my first logo, in that you haven't had another logo. This is the logo you started with, and I think now it's time to change, because I can just about kind of read the photo retouching, restoration.
Yeah, it's really
coloring,
small.
but it's kind of, yeah.
Well, here's actual size.
It's around.
Let's get to actual size. That's actual size.
Yeah. So it's not very, it wouldn't be very clear on a business card, and it's quite, you know, because it's quite small. If you can do something in a circle, then like put it in a shape. I think there's definitely, you can definitely do something good there with it. I think Deb definitely needs to change it. From a website point of view, there's nothing on the page that shows what you do.
That's what I was going to say. That was going to be my comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what I love when you go to a retouching site is before and afters or restorations.
Yeah.
Oh, they're down there.
Okay. So that should be up the top. I'd have a big banner that shows a before and after.
That one should be first.
Yeah.
By the way, that absolutely, positively should be the first one on the page. In fact, I put that up there before you describe all the other stuff.
Yeah.
A picture tells 1,000 words.
She's good at what she does. I love restoration stuff. Because,
Oh, yeah.
You know, so many images get destroyed.
Because she did the
and
whole
ruined.
thing, the colorization, the restoration, and that was not an easy, that thing's a mess.
Yeah.
There's missing parts and a missing hat, and she did a beautiful job of putting it together. That should be up top, because you know what? I don't have to read the words restoration to know exactly what you did.
In fact, for her logo, just thinking now, I'd actually try and be clever and create a logo that looks like the left half is kind of, maybe even if it was just a line drawing of the logo, and the right half of the logo will be coloured. Just to kind of a before and after, but within a logo.
Yeah.
But she needs to
Start
get
with
images up the top.
Up at the top. There you go.
Land on the website and go and have wow be the first thing that people see.
Yeah, because that's what I would say. If I went to your website and I saw this down here, I wouldn't have to say anything else but like, I wonder how much she charges. I wonder if she's available.
Yeah. And it's probably all up there in the details,
Yeah, it's
because
probably up there.
that menu's kind of overflowing as well. So
Yeah.
you go along, there's too much there in the menu. I'd clean that up.
I see the word prices, which means this is a business, which means it's time to invest in a logo.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, we have way run out of time here, so we're going to have to bolt. But I want to thank everybody who submitted images and logos.
Yep.
It was fun to see a lot of nice work, including the work we just saw from Deb here, even though it wasn't photography work. I have tremendous respect for people who can do restoration.
Absolutely,
for all kinds of reasons. One is it's very, very hard and very, very, because people will sometimes ask me, what are the shortcuts and all? There's not a lot of shortcuts. No. It's a lot of hard work. But the other thing is the important thing that they're doing for people and how much it means to the people when you restore a damaged images and you bring it back to life. It is a great thing that you're doing for the visual history of that person's family and their life. So good on you you've chosen something very, very admirable and a great profession to do.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, it's time for us to give away a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean not my stuff, but Dave's stuff. No, I'm kidding. All right. So you work for a company that does Illustrator plugins?
We do.
Can you tell me about any of them?
I can.
Like, what's your most popular plugin that you guys have?
Our most popular plugin is called VectorScribe, and that makes the pen tool do what it's supposed to do.
Oh, all right.
But today, I've not checked my social media since I've been here, but we have a plugin update that's coming out that's been built from scratch. And if you're a graphic designer, if you create any kind of artwork in Illustrator, this is the plugin you need. It's called Phantasm. I'm taking
Scariest movie ever watched, Phantasm. Yeah. Go on.
I'm taking a flyer because I'm hoping it's been released today. But we've got a Phantasm 4, and it brings color control to Illustrator that you have in Photoshop. So like hue, saturation, exposure. You can't do any of that in Illustrator.
Can now.
You can now. So if we've got an image, and if you've got a bunch of colours in it, and you want to quickly play with it, you can just use those sliders. You don't have to do the whole colour match, global colour.
really?
Yeah, you can do all that. And then you can add like half-tone textures to your work, and it's all vector, and you can use your own logo, your own little symbol. So if I could make you something with all the little Ks for Kelby One, and that'll be your half-tone pattern. And it's like,
Wow,
it's
I
a
see.
really cool plugin, yeah. And
Where can they learn about?
they can go to
Astute Graphics.
astutegraphics.com, A-S-T-U-T-E, graphics.com. And we're on social media as Astute Graphics. And I love working for them.
You were telling me that at lunch.
Yeah, best job I've ever had.
Oh, well,
Hands down.
congratulations.
Thank
you're,
you.
You're a great guy. You deserve a great job.
Yeah, thanks.
And they're lucky to have you.
They're good people.
But we're not lucky to have you. We're sick of you. Anyway, let's look at contest time. You want to enter the contest to win any one of these things. Now, the important thing is go to kelby1.com/contest. What's important is to tell you what you want to win. Your choices are Scott's new Lightroom Classic book. Are you giving away that other book? Are we giving away Glenn's book?
Yeah, we're giving away Glenn's book.
Glenn's book, Photographed Like a Thief. Tremendous book, by the way. Tremendous. Highly, highly recommended. Or you can get a Platypod Ultra. You can get a Platypod Max. Either one of those. Or you can just write in the field of what you want to win, Dave's Junk.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants Dave's
junk.
junk. They're always grabbing for Dave's junk.
Yeah, and I'll see what else I've got before I leave, and we'll put it in a bag.
We'll put it
and
all
you
in
win
there
Dave's
like
junk.
He'll go to that place. What's it called? Pound something?
Poundland.
Pound what?
Poundland.
Poundland.
The fun is to go in and say, how much is that? It's £1. How much is that? That's £1. What about that? That's £1. Then they throw you out of the shop.
It's all a pound. All right.
Yeah.
Where can people learn more just about you as a human and just a beautiful UK celebrity?
FBI most wanted list.
Besides that,
You can go to @It's Dave Clayton. That's ITS Dave Clayton, because I couldn't get Dave Clayton straight away. So it's Dave Clayton on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. He shoots, he draws for the podcast.
There we go.
There we go. I haven't updated it for a very long time. That's my website. I need to do that a little bit more.
yeah, you might.
Yeah.
But you're big on social.
Yeah, I prefer social because it's more instant and people find me there. But yeah, I'm normally hanging around more on Twitter and Instagram these days. Facebook, kind of more family stuff. But
I got you.
I'm out there. People can email me, dave@daveclayton.com if they got a question, if they want some advice or anything. I may regret that and get a ton of emails tomorrow morning.
After your performance, I don't think so.
No.
No one's going to.
Even my mum might go, I just did because I
Ben
had
says,
to.
oh, God, Dave's junk is not something I want to think about.
You know
No,
you do,
everyone's
Ben.
going to want to grab Dave's junk.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be focused
On my
Dave's junk. So go to kelby1.com/Dave's junk. No, /contest. Tell us what you want to win. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. We will be glad to send it to you. Hey, Pierre says, hey, Dave.
Hey, Pierre.
That's all. That's all you got?
Bonjour, Pierre. Comment ça va?
There you go. That's much better. Juan, you were lovely today. You were resplendent.
He is.
Jen, we're going to miss you next week.
Jen.
It's not going to be the same. We have great people standing behind you, ready to moderate and yell at people just like you do.
I just want to say huge thanks to Jen, because she helped with all my other classes and she's awesome.
She is awesome.
She is awesome.
I
Very
know.
good, very good. And she's really been patient and helpful. And
There's
friendly
Jen
and-
on. Oh, it's a naughty.
She's a brilliant
naughty.
photographer.
She's brilliant and naughty.
She's naughty, but
She's naughty, but
she's very good.
you know, if you like seeing almost naked pictures,
Yeah,
go to
who-
Jen. Follow Jen on Instagram.
I
Can we
look
scroll off that? Can we not have that the right? Just scroll down or something. So we're not every picture. Oh God,
There you go.
there's nowhere you can go to get away from Jen's naughty pictures. All right, we need to go to church now after
Yeah.
seeing this. Let's all right.
My junk's going to show up in a minute. I'm sure.
Let's hope so. Here's some of Dave's junk right here. This is what he's talking about. It's not what you're thinking. All right. So what was something? Seems like there was something else. I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next weekend for the semi-sad episode of The Grid. And thanks to all our crew here. Thanks to Jason and Ron in the booth. Thanks for Ron coming out and telling us, by the way,
Yeah.
the name of the burger place in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
We'll catch. Am I here next week? I think I am.
Oh, Jason, what a lad. He directed me this week. Obviously,
Did he?
Meredith going.
Yeah.
Top lad.
Top lad?
Top lad, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's
Yeah,
very
he's a good
talented,
lad.
very talented guy. I'm only saying that because I'm on the microphone. He can hear me. Really? Really? He's not very good.
Yeah. He policed my eye for me.
All right,
knowing-
good. There you go. That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've run out of things to say, Dave. Will you take us out?
I will. Thanks for watching The Grid, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Dang.
I'm wrapped around the microphone. See, English people can't high five.
I know.